Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal is that at this video is to show you guys another way that you can start earning online, which is becoming a virtual assistant with our guest today. Now, if this is your guys' first time on my channel, my name is Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old and now run an outsourcing company here in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, our guest for today is someone who has been working as a virtual assistant in the last 4 years. She has a ton of experience working with realtors and brokers as an admin virtual assistant, and now actually works as an executive assistant for a title representative in Los Angeles, and she is also an Instagram influencer. Okay guys, so without further ado, please help me welcome our guest for today, Miss Imee Ramos. Hi Aimee!
Hi everyone. Hi Miss Leia.
Yeah, very excited, like I said, to have you, because being a virtual assistant is a job that can get you almost anywhere. Also, if you have no idea where to start, it is the perfect place to start. So for you, how did you get started working online?
I used to work at BPO industry for like 11 years.
Wow.
And then I took a risk 4 years ago. I resigned to my corporate job. And then one of my friends asked me wanted to join their company. Luckily, I was hired. And I was a virtual assistant inside sales agent for a real estate company. So I don't have any idea what is the job. And for me, my thinking before, it is so easy for me to transition going to BPO and then going to
Yeah.
virtual assistant because I can speak English. You can speak your clients, and then but then eventually that's not the game as a virtual assistant. It's really not because you can speak English. So first time I was really challenged. There's a lot of hardships. It's not easy at all. But as long as along the way you were able to learn, and I learned that in this industry, if you want to stand out, if you really want to be in this industry for a long period, you need to be competitive. You need to be determined to learn more things, upgrade your skills. So back then, I started in calling. Cold calling is my task for my client, doing sub-admin stuff like email handling, so updating our database. And after 3 years, I felt like that I was stuck with my skills, that I was thinking that I'm doing another veterinary job again, like in my BPO, calling. And then fortunately, last year, my client contract was stopped because of the business in the United States. Where
Yeah.
I don't have a job for like 2 months. I don't stop there. I enrolled myself to FH Mom for a graphic design course. And then for me, it's like you have to learn more skills in order to be able to give more to your clients. Just not because you're a virtual assistant, I can only do this. I can only do email handling. I can only calling. You need to learn more things in order to offer more to your clients. So I was able to finish the course, graphic design. I was able to learn photo editing, able to learn about Photoshop, so their Canva, creating templates. And then after that, June, I was able to get another client again, which I'm working right now.
That's
And
awesome.
yes, I was lucky that she gave me a lot of tasks. She gave me, she can do these templates for me, email listings, something like that, cards for my clients. I also doing editing, video editing. Since I've learned that
Wow.
already, so she no longer need to hire another person or another virtual assistant, since I can offer that as well.
True.
So that's my journey.
That's awesome. And I love that, just as it was kind of starting to get a little bit boring, you did pivot, you did find your passion basically. And I love that a lot of the wisdom or the things that you've learned as a VA is true. You have to be resourceful, because even if you do have a manager, their advice can only go so far. You have to figure things out on your own. And I love that, you enrolled yourself, you now have more skills than you did have 3 years ago. So for you, what does, you mentioned that you do some graphics, you mentioned that you learned video editing, so now you can do video editing for your client. But what does a day-to-day look like as a virtual assistant?
So your day-to-day task is me just checking my client's email. If there's appointments that need to be booked on her calendar, emails of their client. Usually, I make a lot of updating in our database. Real estate agents keep transferring from different company, changing their email address and phone number, and that's it. And then also, you need to master Google Google Drive, Google Sheet, Google
Yeah.
Excel. Your clients will give you tasks. Hey, try to import those data from our database, and then try to put it in your Google Sheet, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
those are my day-to-day tasks with my clients.
That's awesome. So you really, and I say this a lot with virtual assistants, you guys basically, or I was a virtual assistant at one point, we become their second brain, become the person who helps them out, become the person who, I guess I've said this in a previous interview where everyone has the same 24 hours. So that's why they hire a virtual assistant. So they have like an additional 24 hours. So that's exactly what a virtual assistant can step in to do. So for you so far, actually, I want to ask, how did you get your first and your current client? Out of curiosity, you said the first one was from your friend, but what was your process in finding like your next client also, like your current one?
Actually, I've been working to a company. It's an
Mm.
agency called Virtue Desk. So that's where I get my first client and then my recent client. So
Ah.
yeah, so they keep giving me clients every time that my client ended contract. They be able to give me another client. So you need to undergo another client interview. They call it client interview. And then
Mm-hmm.
the client will decide from the pool of the VAs that he was interviewed, he will decide who was the one going to get.
Mm.
So there. And then right now I've been working with my client for like 7 months already. But my longest
Ah.
client was 3.5 years.
The one that ended last year.
Yes, so during pandemic because that was a
Mm-hmm.
construction business. So yes,
Ah,
I
that
was
makes sense.
calling people, construction company offering, our services like
Mm-hmm.
and on supplies.
And that makes sense why I think you're someone who's creative for someone to dive into graphic design. I think for someone creative as you, I can see how it would get very routine doing
Yes.
that over and over again. So far, in the last 4 years that you've been working from home, what has been the most surprising thing for you? What is something that's just fun or something that you're proud of that you can do working from home?
I'm a mom of three, and then working from home is like it's a perk for me. It's like you're being productive at the same time you're able to take care of your kids. That's one of my dreams before. That's why I transferred working from home because my kids are growing. They need me all as well because I'm working at
Mm-hmm.
BPO. They're working at night. So
True,
right now I'm
true.
still working at night, but then it's just one step on the door. They're
Yeah.
just a one step of yes. I was able to take care of them. So that's very one of my fulfilling for me as a mom. I can still earn at the same time. I was able to take a look at my kids.
True, true. And whenever I go home to my hometown in Tacloban, that I love that I can be with my sisters and I can hang out with my family and at the same time be able to work literally anywhere, even
True.
from like a coffee shop or just, in the beach resort. As long as I have internet, I can work there
Yeah,
and be with the
right.
people that I love. So
True.
that is a really good perk. So far, being a virtual assistant, what has been kind of your favorite thing about it? You've talked about learning a lot, but what has been out of everything that you've done so far in the last 4 years? What is your favorite part about being a virtual assistant?
For me, as a virtual assistant, you were able to learn more things along the way. There's a lot of challenges, I even cried to my clients. As a virtual assistant, I was able to gain confidence that I can do this. From the start, I don't have any knowledge. And then right now, I can proud to say that I'm equipped already to accept all other jobs or other
Mm.
tasks for my client. If you want to stand out, you need to be full package.
That is true in a lot of sense. I love that everything is becoming confident. It is something that makes me actually really happy and really like just I was just smiling this whole time because it is something that you do get with being autonomous, with being just on your own, not having to always follow a manager. You have to figure things out on your own. Is you become more confident in yourself, in your skill, in what you can do. So I love that's actually your favorite thing. So far in the last 4 years, what has been as a virtual assistant, it could be your admin task or now your creative tasks, what has been a shortcut that have just made things easier for you when you're doing tasks, when you're providing services for your client?
Enrolling yourself through different courses. There's a lot of, they're giving you tools that you need. So Canva is one of my go-to tasks in creating
Mm-hmm.
templates. Another one is Filmora if you want to create videos. So if you enroll yourself, you're able to learn tools that will be able to help your tasks more easily. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've learned in the past. So there's a
Sure.
lot of tools already that you can explore in order to be able to be efficient.
That's awesome. So I also love Canva. I make everything on Canva. All of my graphics, all of my the thumbnail that were created for this video is actually going to be from Canva. So I wanted to ask this because, as you probably know, I'm actually one of the trainers for FH Moms. How has that going through the course actually helped you also a little bit? I want to dive into that because I know a lot of people who see whatever course that they see online and they just buy it without knowing what happens on the other side after you finish for it. So how was that experience of having to learn a new skill and then learning it through FH Moms?
Learning or enrolling myself through graphic design with Mommy Katie's course was really worth it. So I learned a lot from her. She's so generous giving the tools, where the resources you can get, and it's really worth of the money. I've learned a lot from her. And even the design in social media, she was able to give some tips. And for me, investment on your learning is very good for you as a virtual assistant.
It does always start that way. You learn something, and it's not until you actually take actions that actually when you start putting it in and practicing it in the universe. Thank you for sharing that. I do love hearing about the success stories from FH Moms because I do support you guys 100% with everything. So it's always nice to just have multiple skills and not and be able to see what else you can do as well. So far right now, if you were imagine that you were talking to even just like 3 years ago, Aimee, and 4 years ago, Aimee, what would be a small step that she can do or someone can do right now if they're interested in becoming a VA or doing graphics or doing video editing? What would be a small step that they can do to move forward, to move towards the direction where you're at?
My advice to mommies out there that if you wanted to go to try or who were really pursuing virtual assistant or working online is tools. Right? And first is you need to invest on your laptop. So you don't need a high spec laptop. Desktop will do. And then second is internet. It's really important. A lot of people ask me, is it okay to work with the data, using data? But unfortunately, we cannot. So we really have to invest first. I invested a lot. I invested my laptop, and then internet is the one thing. And then if you don't have a budget right now to enroll yourself for a specific course, there's always Google and YouTube. If you want to, say for example, you just want to do admin tasks, try to learn in Google. You just need to be resourceful. Again, as I mentioned, that you need to be resourceful. There's no one person who will going to give you this training materials. It's on your own, so you have to be resourceful. And anything online is available already. Any questions that you ask is already available online. And then you need to be determined. I know it's really hard working at the same time taking care of your kids. So for me, I was able to train my kids whenever time I have work and whenever time they're in my office, they're not disturbing me. So that's why I trained them. Automatically, the new mom is working. So you need to separate also yourself from work, you as a mom. That's the main important. You need to practice that because if you working, we've known moms master the multitasking. But then here as a virtual assistant, you also need to focus. But if it's time to work, it's just work. Try to separate yourself from your household chores. So there's time for that. So that's what I've learned here. So I mastered balancing your time and then separate yourself from work and home. That's what's really important because your client will see your task. Hey, why you were doing a lot of errors? They said maybe because of your kids. Yeah, you're taking care of your kids. You don't have any focus. So I have a client of that before. So that's also my advice to you. And then along the way, as you try to create a nice portfolio or try to create a cover letter, you can use a free app like Canva if you want to make it more design. And apply and try and try to apply more. There's a lot of platforms that you can apply. There's companies or agencies that you can apply. I have failed a lot of interviews before, but if you're really determined, won't stop, right? So that's my advice. And as along the way as you earn, try to invest for another good expensive laptop, and then enroll yourself eventually if you want to invest more on your skill.
Very true. Very true. Thank you so much. So, what is right now, Aimee, something that you're working towards? What we call it. What is your big, hairy, audacious goal? What is something that you are working towards as a virtual assistant, as someone who is also constantly growing and being creative? What is your, where do you see yourself in 10 years, 5 years, 20 years? Up to you.
Honestly, I'm very lucky with my client right now. So I'm looking forward to work with her for many years. So I love working with her. She's very, sometimes you found a client that really gives you time to be able to
Mm-hmm.
train you, give you advices, give you criticism. So I love working with her. I'm still looking forward to work with her for a few years, more years from now. And also, as I mentioned, I'm also growing my YouTube channel and also my um, as an influencer in social media. So I'm looking forward to grow myself also. So that's one of the thing that I love doing today also.
That's pretty awesome. And to support you with your goal in being an influencer, growing yourself as a virtual assistant, how can people find you? How can people reach out to you if they resonated with you during this video? How can people talk to you basically?
So currently, I'm also an influencer on Instagram. So basically, I'm promoting self care. So parents, working moms at home, sometimes they forgot themselves, right? So that's one of my advocates. So taking care of yourself is not selfish. So
That is so awesome. I love that. So, guys, please make sure to check out Aimee's Instagram and YouTube. I'll make sure to link all of that below so you guys can check her out. So, thank you so much, Aimee, for sharing your wisdom, sharing a lot of what you've learned as a virtual assistant. And I hope you inspire at least one mom out there who's watching this to start to actually go out and invest in the tools, invest in yourself, and of course, work on yourself as well.
for all the mommies who are watching out there, that thank you so much.
So again, guys, make sure to check out Aimee's links. I will link them all down below. Make sure to hit subscribe on her YouTube channel and follow her on Instagram. So we have a question from Jared Hernandez on my virtual assistant services video, where she asks, "Hi Leanne, thank you so much for making this video. I had a question about copywriting. Is this basically describing the product or service?" So I can probably create a whole video on how to be a copywriter, what is a copywriter, all that. But to kind of make this a little bit short at the end of this video, a copywriter, you are basically someone who is selling, but you're not obviously trying to sell something. So it's not about describing the product or service. It's more about describing how this USB can change your life if you just buy this. You're not describing that it's like 8 GB. You're not describing that it fits in your pocket really well. You're describing how you can save all of your memories in this USB so you don't have to worry about losing them ever again. That's copywriting. That's what you're basically selling, but you're not saying buy this and this will like change your life. You're saying this USB will save all your files so you don't have to look for them ever again, or you never lose them ever again. That is basically what copywriting is. You're kind of selling or marketing a certain product or service, not just describing it. So hopefully that makes sense. If you guys want your question or if you have a comment you want to feature in the next video, make sure to leave a comment below. And also, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. And you guys can check out these other 2 videos right here for more interviews with more amazing people. Now, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!